Ladies and gentlemen, we've got an unexpected visitor into the world of chess, and I would like all of us to welcome them with open arms. I'm talking about the NBA phenom, Victor Wembanyama. 7'3", tearing it up here in early 2025 and in this entire season. Yeah, Wemby plays chess. And I only know this because he tweeted about it himself. He said, "Who wants to meet me at the southwest corner of Washington Square Park to play chess? I'm there." And the day before that, he said, "What are the best spots to play chess in New York City?" I'm not expanding either of those tweets because to both of them, I responded desperately craving attention. But joking aside, if you actually look at the date of those tweets, it was December the 28th. Do you know what else happened on December the 28th? Jeansgate. Magnus Carlsen and the whole Gene saga. So the very next day, and I don't know if it was just coincidence or if Wemby wanted to pour a little bit of positivity into the world, but indeed, Wemby went to Washington Square Park and he played with people. He played random New Yorkers. And then after that, he asked if folks wanted to do an NBA charity tournament. But yeah, Wemby was in Washington Square Park. One of you watching this might even be in this video. So he played some games, and guess what? I wasn't there because I overslept, because I was sleeping in as I was covering the World Rapid and Blitz. I wasn't there. I couldn't make it, but somebody could, and I have a game. And I'm going to show you Victor Wembanyama against Chess.com product manager Dylan. How about that? We're going to see how good Victor Wembanyama is at chess, and maybe we will do an all-NBA chess tournament, because would you like to know a monster starting five of chess players? Luka Doncic, not Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Dwight Howard, who doesn't play, but, let's get him back on the team, Victor Wembanyama, Klay Thompson? That's just to name five. I just did a collab with Jaime Jaquez Jr., by the way. That's on YouTube, so you can check that out as well. Crazy. What an absolute squad that is. And I feel like that's a contender. By the way, I got a hoodie. I got this for myself, but I saw some people saying you like it, and, you would get one for Chesley too. But, in the meantime, the best favor you can do me is to try it for free. All right, Dylan, very strong player. I think Dylan is, I did guess Lilo and Dylan was in it, but now I'm forgetting. I think Dylan is like 1600. Wemby, who's French, plays the French defense. I don't know if this is a meme or if Wemby actually plays the French defense. We have d4 and d5. This was the opening played in the World Chess Championship between Ding and Gukesh. And Dylan playing the classical move, knight c3, guarding the pawn in the center of the board. Pawn takes e4, knight takes e4 is the Rubinstein. Now black can also play knight f6, which is the classical. Black can play bishop to b4, which is the winnower. Pawn takes e4, knight takes e4. And here black has really one choice. Black can play knight d7, put this knight here, and that's just a pure Rubinstein French. It's a pretty boring and solid opening. Sometimes I like to go here and do this. Wemby plays something I've never seen before, all right? I mean, in general, Wemby is something we've never seen before, which is 7'3". That attacks the knight in the center of the board. For most players, this is not really that bad of a move. It's just, pawn is coming out, and next there's going to be some knights. At the high level, this is a bad move, because as you get better and better at chess, you realize you shouldn't overcommit your pawns like this if it leaves another pawn behind. And on top of that, your king is going to be a little bit more open than normal. For example, here, if white just goes knight g3, it's not good to chase pawns with knights with pawns, because you just have a huge hole in the center of the board, right? So now that square is very well controlled. I will then put a bishop on f4. I'm going to put a bishop out like this, and over the long run, you're going to really feel the pain of getting this bishop out. But at the amateur level, there's nothing wrong with the move f5, I would argue, as long as you follow it up with normal moves. Knight c3 is the move Dylan chooses. By the way, just to point something out, like, this is obviously a blunder in one move. But even if it wasn't, this is never a good move. It just helps white, right? White just gets the knight back into the game and has some activity. So you don't want to chase knights with pawns. You just don't want to do that, okay? So, knight c3, and now Wemby just, I mean, I love this, putting the knights in the center of the board, exactly as you were taught. Bishop g5. By the way, bishop g5 is not a great move, shockingly. The best move here, according to the computer, is to put the pawn here to stop the bishop. Nobody would ever play that. I'd probably play bishop c4 and try to castle. The thing about bishops, I'm going to tell you, you got to put them where you know they want to be. Like, if you put a bishop on a square like this, you're not really sure it wants to be there. And on top of that, can your bishop be easily removed? And the answer is yes. The answer is yes. The bishop absolutely can be removed. So on this square, it can't really be removed. I mean, knight a5, but you can always come back and, you know, the knight is just offside there. So bishop g5, black plays h6. Now, I feel like Dylan wanted to get an interesting game because after this move, Wemby is just straight up beating the chess.com product manager. I don't know how good Wemby is, but damn. The bishop is just trapped. This is sort of like what you fell into now. This is like getting blocked by a 7'3" basketball player. Like, you're just losing now. And normally when you're going to lose the bishop, you're going to get it for 2 pawns, but now you're only getting it for 1 pawn. And yeah, you know, you can maybe get to the king, which makes sense, but black is doing totally fine. Black is safe. So g5. Wemby is defeating the man from chess.com. So at this point, Dylan's got to go all in. He plays knight takes g5. He sacrifices, by the way, for the record, I don't know if Dylan was provoking this. Dylan wanted to sort of test how good Wemby is because you don't really know, you know? Knight takes g5, pawn takes g5, bishop g5. On the surface, this looks pretty okay for white because you got a pawn and a second pawn, right? A knight is 3, 2 pawns is 2. So you're only down a point. So why is it minus 2.81 if you're only down a point? It means your position is bad. It also means this is hanging. Not like this, because at the end the knight would hang, but even knight takes d4 here is not a bad move at all for black. Also, black can just play a regular defensive move, and it's actually just hard for white to do anything. Like, if you try to go here, well, now I will take on d4, and I'm totally winning. And if you play bishop b5, actually, the computer wants the king to move, so that's kind of funny. But after bishop takes g5, Wemby plays bishop h6. Also don't hate this move. Like, Wemby's playing great. Trying to offer the trade of the bishop here. Both of these pieces are protected by other black pieces, so everything is really good. Bishop h4. And now, yo, what Wemby does here, like, the French, listen, the French don't cook with that many spices. All right? That's what I'm going to say. And he's French, you know? I don't know if he's half French and half whatever he might be. I'm not sure. But I was going to say here, Wemby puts a little bit of spice in the position. Wemby's next move is utter nonsense, but it's so good. I love it. Like here, black can just take a pawn. Black can finish up developing. Yo, Victor Wembanyama here plays bishop d2 check. This is the most unnecessary thing I've ever seen. Yo, I can't even believe this is a crazy move. He sacrifices the bishop to take the bishop. It's just a trade. But it's so unnecessarily spicy. Like, again, he could have played it, but I love this. I love it. Go ahead, play it. Obviously, king takes d2 is horrible because you take and then you take. Bishop d2 is epic. Queen takes d2, and now rook takes h4. Yo, Wemby's good, man. I don't know how good. I only have, like, the data of one game, but damn. Damn, Wemby. Rook takes h4, and the pawn's just dead, you know? It's attacked 3 times. You can't defend it. So in this position, Dylan goes here. Let it be known, he's attacking the rook, but man is cooked. He's threatening all sorts of stuff, but you can't do damage with just one piece. It's not like the police officer in Squid Game Season 1. Like, you're not going to infiltrate the position and blah, 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 blah. Like, it's not going to... Not against all of this, as long as the opponent plays good defense. I hear rook takes d4 is very good. Queen takes d4 is very good. You can even throw in this move, and the queen's got to move somewhere, like here. Now queen d4. Now, black would love a queen trade, make no mistake. Like, it would be amazing if black got the queens off the board, but you got to be careful how you do it. So queen g5, and now, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on whose side you're on, Wemby blunders. He plays rook e4 check. And unfortunately, there is a knight here. But I mean, yo, he played bishop d2. Like, he should win the game just for playing bishop d2. Maybe he was memeing. Like, maybe Wemby has watched so much of this channel, he thought he was just sacrificing a rook for the memes. But this is not going to work, because now black is not calling any sort of shots, and white is just better. What I would do here with white is I would slide my queen over to h5, force the king to make a move, and then I would just, like, kick out the knight and castle. And here, white's position is fantastic, because white's got a rook for 2 knights, which is not really the best deal, but really black's king is so weak that you can start attacking, getting rid of the pawns, and then really making use of your rooks on the open files. That is how you should play this position. But queen g8 check is chosen, another check is given, and the king goes back. And now Dylan is like, all right, time to shut the whole thing down. I'm going to play pawn to f3. I'm targeting the knight in the center. Knight's probably going to have to go back. Here, Wemby goes all in. Knight takes d4. And unfortunately, that is the final mistake. His idea was that after pawn takes knight, there is knight takes c2. That idea is right. However, in chess, it's not about the ideas that are right. It's about the ideas that are wrong. And this is wrong because white just castles. And now, not only is there no threat of knight c2, there is also a direct attack on the knight. And this knight is still hanging. So if you play a move like knight here, it looks good. But I take a knight, I attack a queen, it's simply over. After long castle, a very quick turnaround in this game. And Dylan, fortunately or unfortunately, is totally winning. Wemby just throwing pieces forward, but clean up here. And very clinical technique here by white, who just traps the knight. Knight tries to escape, pawn takes, but now Wemby's like, well, if I take, I'm going to get mated. Good eye. Plays c6, the rook goes to the open file, and the bishop delivers a checkmate. And I gotta tell you, all of that happened just because of the blunder, rook to e4. But before that, Victor Wembanyama was cooking. Now, if anybody else played him in a game, you know, you should send it. I think he played a few games, maybe 5 that day. But here, after, like I said, a move like rook g4, forcing the queen to make a move, here, and just like hanging around the position, black is completely better. Black and bishop d7 is nice. And then if, you know, the computer thinks it's not like perfect, but after something like castles and long castles, yeah, black is just up a knight. He's just straight up a knight. Not only is he up a knight, he's going to go for an attack as well. Of course, there is like this. You have to be a little careful, but you have checkmate threats. The queen is hanging. Rook is coming to h8 like this. Yeah, it's a very, very, very dangerous position for white. So that's kind of nuts. Victor Wembanyama shows up to Washington Square Park to play random New Yorkers. By the way, he did it in the rain, and he also offered, which was at the top of this tweet, an NBA players only tournament for charity. Proceeds go to the charity. Yo, we got to make this happen. We've got Gordon Hayward, friend of the channel. I don't know if you guys know this. Gordon Hayward got one of my chess courses like 5 years ago. I could say 5 because it's 2025 now. 5 years ago. We got Jaylen Brown. We got Luka Doncic. Dwight Howard plays chess. Klay Thompson plays chess. Jaime Jaquez Jr. plays chess. There's a bunch of NFL players who play chess. But let's get an NBA. Derrick Rose, big chess player allegedly. So let's make it happen. All right? They've been saying all this year, NBA ratings are down. You know what would get them up? A chess tournament. So that was super cool. I hope you enjoyed this little bit of coverage of the Wemby game. Actually, very, very well played game. If I had to guess his ELO, I would say probably like 1100. Rook e4 was an oversight, but chess is hard to play 3D compared to 2D. Like, I mean, definitely 11 to 1200 strength. And if he's like higher than that, I'm very sorry, but I only have one game. So that's all I have for you today. Check out a bunch of free courses on Chessly. Check out the free trial. No card required. I think I'm just going to wear this hoodie forever. And for those of you that already got on there, we've got more courses coming. I'm adding e4, e5, knight f3 sidelines for white. We've got the 4 knight Sicilian coming, anti-Sicilians for black, how to beat bad openings against the Sicilian defense. And a bunch of conceptual stuff is coming as well, how to trade your pieces. A bunch of beginner content is coming, so super exciting. All right, that's all I have for you today. Tomorrow, I'm going to make a video about Stockfish and Leela, the computer chess championships that just ended. Get out of here.